Good evening. It is a girls hoops kind of night in the Center State Conference with a few all-local battles around the area. One such contest brings us out to Herkimer County and the namesake town as the Magicians took on the Dolgeville Blue Devils. It's a CSC Division I tilt between the third-place Magicians and second-place Blue Devils. Second of two regular season meetings, Dolgeville won the first in December. And they'd have the momentum entering halftime, taking a 1-point lead before the break. They carry that over to the third as Carissa Van Olst has eyes only for the basket. She won't be stopped, strong to the rack. Blue Devils up 3. She led Deville with 19 points. Final minute of the frame, Blue Devils by 1. Van Olst can't get this one to fall, but Peyton Comstock swoops in for the rebound and puts in the pretty reverse. Big time play from the 8th grader. 2 of her 8 points lead back up to 3. Final seconds of the third, off the missed 3 try. Aubrey Lewis hauls in the offensive board, finds Madison Marusik, gets off the mid-range jumper, and sinks it at the buzzer. Huge shot to get the Magicians back within 1, heading to the 4th. And that awakened the sleeping giant. Herkimer takes the momentum and runs with it, literally. Marusik end-to-end, sidestep, and buckets. That ties the game at 41. Shortly after, Bailey Bray from deep, you betcha. Clutch 3 from the senior gives the Magicians the lead, and they would not look back from there. Marusik went off in the final few minutes. The sophomore would lead all scorers with 24 points. Herkimer with a key win, final 53-45. Over in Frankfort, the Frankfort Skylar Maroon Knights hosted the Adirondack Wildcats in another CSC1 matchup. Second and final regular season meeting here. The Cats took round 1 last month. After Adirondack gets on the board, Frankfort Skylar responds. Isabella Nitty, pump fake, steps inside and splashes it for 2. Knights on the board were tied at 2. Later in the stanza, Wildcats lead by 3. Ireland Payne takes it the length of the floor and dishes off to Rebecca Tittle backdoor for the bucket. Adirondack up 5. To the second, Frankfort down 9 off a miss. Nevaeh Grimes, strong in the paint, pulls it down and puts it back. 7 points, 14 boards for the senior. Under 2 minutes in the half, off a block by Oriana Lastowski, Holly Miller goes the other way, drives, hits, and the foul. 3-point play gives ADK a 12-point lead. Frankfort looking to close the gap here. Isabella Piraghi, triple in the wing, got it. The freshman with a big bucket, Knights within single digits. But the Wildcats respond with a triple of their own right after. Then Raquel Paschke enters the mix, banks it in off the low glass, and just seconds later strips the ball and finishes off the steal. Adirondack gets back in the win column tonight. The Wildcats take this one 43-25. Well, speaking of high school basketball, we're just a couple of weeks away from the beginning of sectionals in many high school winter sports, and today Section 3 announced an important change to the format of this year's tournaments in both boys and girls hoops. This year's high school basketball tournaments locally will be open field competitions, so all teams will qualify for postseason play. Section 3 has suspended the 40% rule, meaning teams would have to win at least 40% of their games in their class, league, or division to get in. Teams may opt out of a bid into sectionals at their own choosing, but all teams will be eligible to compete. Now, according to Syracuse.com, the decision to hold open tournaments was due to concerns about not having enough teams qualify to fill brackets. I reached out to Section 3 officials earlier today for confirmation on this reporting, and I'm still awaiting a response. This is the second year in a row with open field sectionals in basketball. Last year's format was due to a high volume of COVID cancellations throughout the year. Sectionals are set to begin in just a couple of weeks from now on February 16th and will run through March 5th. A local broadcaster who serves as the voice for many Utica sports teams, including Utica City FC, will be featured on national broadcasts for the Major Arena Soccer League next month. Ray Biggs, who you can see right here on News Channel 2 each year for the New York Sash Teddy Bear Toss game, has been selected to call a pair of MASL contests on Sirius XM. On February 10th, Biggsy, as he is known to some, will do play-by-play of a contest between the Milwaukee Wave and St. Louis Ambush in St. Louis. Then on the 17th, he'll do the same for the same two teams as they meet in Milwaukee. The MASL just announced a partnership with the satellite radio company to broadcast a game of the week every Friday night. They just announced that last week, and that'll be through March 24th. Biggs is the primary play-by-play voice of UCFC and various Utica University teams.
Yeah, haven't heard him yet. What are you waiting for?